The one type of video that I get asked to be made most often is this one, the cost of living in the Sarasota area. So people can make really good decisions when they're thinking about making a move. Now, of course, everybody has different families, different family sizes, different needs, different wants. So there's no one size fits all cookie cutter type of answer. But I think in this video, I'll definitely give you a lot of food for thought that will give you some good direction in terms of what you can expect your cost of living will be if you buy a property here in the Sarasota Bradenton area. Hi, I'm Jill Thomas, and each week I bring new videos about what it's like to live here in the Sarasota area. Of course, just being a Floridian, and then lots of real estate. So if making a move to this area has been on your radar, or maybe you already live here and you're looking to buy, or you have a property to sell, then this is the channel for you. So be sure to tap that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and keep on watching. But then don't stop there. When you're ready to ask more questions, when you're ready to really kind of make the move, or you need more detail, then please give me a call, text, or email me. I'm truly here to help you out, especially after a video like this, because there might be, in the end, more questions than answers when it's all said and done, but definitely, hopefully, some good food for thought for you. Now, before I jump into the details, the nitty-gritty of this video and the cost of living, I wanted to let you know how I got all of this information. Well, there's two different things that I've done. First of all, it's just life experience. I've lived here long enough. I've lived here for 30 years. I've got family that lives here. Of course, I've got really good friends. So talking to them, just kind of, some of it's just a general understanding. And then I also sent out a survey to other friends and customers, people who have bought here, for their details. And it was all anonymous, so they could feel free to share that information with me. And so hopefully I've packaged this so I can present it to you in a meaningful way that's going to be helpful. Number one, that monthly electric bill. Okay, so here in our area, there's primarily one company that you can use for power. That's FPL, Florida Power and Light. Now, if you're in Manatee County, which is the county just north of Sarasota County, more in the northeast region, you might be a part of Peace River. They also provide electric, but right now that's all we have, FPL and a little bit of Peace River. Now, I know farther north, like in the Tampa area, there's Duke Energy, which I'm familiar with because my sister lives outside of Indianapolis. So I know Duke's a big name up there. In fact, one of the stadiums, or I don't know, or maybe it's the one place like where we've seen shows and stuff in downtown Indianapolis is named, after, Duke Energy's named it. So I know that's a thing. And so they might be trickling down here in time. In fact, I just saw a pickup truck the other day, last week, that said Duke Energy on the side. So maybe they're making their way down here. But right now, it's definitely a monopoly. You don't get to pick which electric company you use. It's FPL or potentially Peace River. Now, there's two main things I took into account when looking at what somebody's paying with their electric bill. So we've got the size of the home and like how many people are in the home, and then also if they have a swimming pool, especially if it's heated, because that's usually run by electric. And then, but even the pool pump and everything that goes along with it. Now, another thing that really could be factored in, but it would be really hard for me to do in this type of survey and situation, is also the age of the home and the energy efficiency. You could have an older home, but if it's got newer windows or impact windows, it's going to be much more energy efficient. Like with my home, it's an older home. I've got older windows, original windows from the 70s, original sliders. I know my house is not energy efficient at all. So that could change things too. But I'm trying to keep it kind of basic just to give you guys a decent understanding of what you could expect to pay in an electric bill. Okay, at the low end, I had some people say that they pay about $100 or just a little bit less, like maybe around $85 a month with their electric bill. Now, these are going to be for smaller properties, smaller homes with only one or two people living there. Now, one person said that their property is 1,500 square feet, and on average, they pay $75 a month in their electric bill. Now, I was really impressed with that. And like I said before, this was anonymous. I have no clue who said this, so I can't do any follow-up questions. And I kept it anonymous just because I wanted people to feel comfortable answering the questions, and I didn't want them to feel like I was violating their privacy at all. But so if that's accurate, that they're only paying $70 on average a month, then man, kudos to them, because I could not do that. So like I said, maybe their property is super energy efficient or there's some other factors involved, but that is nearly, just don't plan on that. I would say, if your property's smaller, if it's just one or two of you, maybe $85, $100 at the very low end. But on average, most people are paying around $140 a month. This is for, again, maybe two people living in the home, property that's 1,500 to 2,000 square feet with no swimming pool. My house is around 1,400 square feet. I pay about $140, $145 a month on average for my electric bill. And I'm not shy. I run the air or do whatever I want, however I want to feel comfortable. I don't think about, okay, maybe I can try to save $10 this month if I make some adjustments. It's like, I like the temperature the way I like it. Okay, then at the high end for the electric bill is going to be around $200 to $350 a month. Now, these folks definitely have swimming pools. And so to keep that heated on occasion or just to run the pool pump, that makes a big difference. And then at the really higher end of this range, between the $200 to $350, those are people with, a handful of kids still in the home. And in this particular case, they're teenagers. So who's to say how they're doing with, turning off lights and being more mindful of those things. But definitely these are swimming pool folks. And then at the high end with kids in the house. And so like my parents, they have a pool, and I want to say my mom said that their electric bill, is maybe on average like $240 a month. And they keep their house a little bit warmer than I would prefer it, than if I was living in there. I would want a little bit cooler. So just, a solid 200 plus if you're going to have a swimming pool. Now, just FYI, from my experience, it seems like running the air conditioning, even in the peak heat of the summer, is still less expensive than running the heat in the winter. Now, some of you might think, why would you even have heat? Like, why would you need that? Well, it does get cold. The temperatures can drop pretty low in the evenings at night, some years. In the winter months. So this last winter, I turned my heat on just a few times. And the longer you live here, the more cold you're going to start to feel. So don't poo-poo us here for turning the heat on. And so again, with my experience, it seems like what my bill is in the summertime, when I keep it as cold as I want it to be, that monthly bill is still lower than what it is if I run the heat for even, 5, 6, 7, 10 days during a given month in the wintertime. And usually these are not consecutive days, because we'll have little cool snaps where I'll turn it on for maybe a day or even a half a day or 2 days, turn it off, then I might turn it back on again. So probably isn't very good for my system either to be going, back and forth. That might factor in as well. But most people assume that your bill's going to be the highest in the summer. No, I think it's highest in the winter. Again, that's my anecdotal experience. Number 2, the water bill. All right, so depending on which county you're in, if you're in Sarasota County, you pay water, sewer, and trash, the Sarasota County utilities. You go to the website, you look it up, you can sign up online, all that kind of stuff. If you're in Manatee County, it's the same thing. Manatee County utilities for water, sewer, and trash. It's all one bill. So I know some of you guys from other areas, you got a bill for trash, you got a bill for this, you got a bill. No, it's all together. Now, of course, if you have a septic tank and you're not using the sewer, then that bill's going to be a little bit lower. Or if you're on both well and septic, it's going to be even lower because you're only paying for trash, right? So, easy peasy there. So that's how our water bills work in this area. Now, I really didn't see any relationship with people who do have pools and people who don't have pools in regards to their water bill. Honestly, it really kind of came down to how many people are in the household. So that was my findings with this. So really on average, most people's water bills are under $100 a month. Really, most average between $80 and $85 a month. Some are a little bit higher, some a little bit lower. But again, just to give you a good idea of what you're looking at for that water bill. Now, there were a couple exceptions to that. And like I said before, it depends on how many people are in the household. So I've got some friends and each of them have 4 kids with teenagers, and their water bills are quite a bit higher. With those kids, of course, you're talking about a lot more laundry, especially because the kids go to, they have uniforms for school, so they got to wash that and, have other clothes as well. More cooking, more laundry. Oh, I already said that. More dishes, just more everything, right? More the cleaning that needs to be done because more people are using the property, just flushing the toilet more. all of that. So that water bill is going to get a lot higher. So it can be as much as $200 a month for these folks. And I know the one mom, she is a bath taker. Every night she likes to unwind by taking a quick bath. So she fills up that tub. So, that's more water that keeps getting used. So those water bills are higher. So definitely I see the correlation is more with how many people are in the household and how that impacts the water bill versus if you have a pool or some other things. Now, of course, if you had some other special circumstances, let's say you had a company, a business that required you to use more water, of course, your water bill is going to be higher, but this is just for your average regular residential usage. Now, also keep in mind, if you're in a condo or a villa or a townhouse, water may or may not be covered with your monthly dues. So if that's the case, keep in mind, when you're looking at these dues that you're getting, or they're being proposed from an association, well, if there's just a couple of you, you think, well, I could take off $85 or $100 a month from those dues in your mind and go, well, that would be going towards water. So kind of break down those monthly dues a little bit, and that will help you to kind of rationalize whether or not the dues are worth it or not for that particular community. Number 3, gas. Now, this is gas for your home, not gas to fill up your gas tank. But of course, right now, those prices for the gas tanks are fluctuating like crazy. So we won't even touch that right now because this is kind of hopefully a temporary thing. We'll see. But anyway, gas for the home. There was only a couple people that are using gas for their house, and primarily it's for the stove and for the dryer. And they're paying on average between $35 and $40 a month for that. So gas, definitely probably under $50 a month for most people. Number 4, auto insurance. Now these numbers were pretty consistent across the board. And I would say on average, people are paying about $100 a month for each vehicle that they have insured. Again, this is average, so some might be, $95, some might be $110, but that's on average. One person said they were paying $130 a month, somebody else was $150 a month, so it wasn't too bad. And of course, it depends too on what level of coverage you have, because everybody has a different threshold and a comfort level also. Or maybe they just need to shop around and consider getting new quotes for auto insurance. But on average, around $100 a month seems like it works. Number 5, groceries. When I asked about groceries, I didn't ask them to break it down between eating in and eating out. And honestly, I didn't even see a big difference on the number of people in a household and what the grocery bill is. So I think everybody's a little different, whether you're more of a foodie and you want things a little bit high end, or maybe you eat more organic. So all that's going to be factored in. So this is a really hard one to answer, but I'll tell you what I learned anyway. I would say on average, people pay between $400 and $800 a month for their grocery bill. Again, this could be including going out to eat. So I know that's kind of a big range. It doesn't help you a whole lot. So I'm sorry for that. But I thought I'd also share with you, your different grocery shopping options in our area. So of course, we've got Sam's Club, we've got Costco, we've got BJ's. Aldi's starting to make its way here. We've got a few locations of Aldi now around here. There's a few Winn-Dixie's left. Otherwise, our biggest grocery store in the area is Publix. It's a very nice one, kind of, very clean, very well run, polite people, all that kind of good stuff. And so you want to really take advantage of their BOGO opportunities, their buy one, get one off or get one free. And their, sales schedule runs from a Thursday to a Wednesday. So Wednesday night's the last time. They're good with flyers, following them on social media so you can see where you can get the deals. I always buy my coffee there. It's way cheaper than going to Walmart or something like that if I can get it BOGO. So otherwise, if you pay full price, you're definitely paying more than a place like Walmart, a Walmart marketplace. So that's what you're looking at there. Also, another favorite of mine is Detweiler's. That's a local chain here. We've got maybe, 8 locations. I mentioned that in my last video as well. So check out Detweiler's. Great for produce, seafood, deli, everything. So honestly, I do the bulk of my shopping just at Detweiler's. It's nice because a lot of the produce is as local or regional or statewide as they can get, but usually pretty high quality, and their prices overall are pretty decent for their produce. So I like going to Detweiler's. That's my favorite. And then honestly, when you move here, it's always just good to talk to different people who maybe like the same things you do, because they're going to give you all the tips and tricks of how to go grocery shopping in our area. Number 6. the lawn. Okay, so for those who have hired lawn maintenance, the numbers I was getting is monthly like $75, $125, $135 a month. And that's pretty average. I pay $75 a month. That's definitely at the low end. And he just comes every single week, very faithfully, runs around, mows, does like edging at the sidewalk and the driveway, does the weed eater around the house and keep areas, and then uses the blower. And he does maybe like 8 homes on the street. So he just comes every Thursday morning and just knocks out the whole area, does it super fast. Now, because I pay less money, he doesn't do anything extra unless I talk to him and ask him to do it. So heaven forbid he picks up a palm frond or something that falls, like he just kind of goes around it or shoves it to the side. But, I get what I pay for. So if you're going to be paying more like the $125, $135 a month, unless your yard's really big, maybe you could get them to do a little bit extra. My guy just does the basics, which is fine with me. I'd rather pay less money and do some of those extra things myself. So that I can handle. So lawn maintenance, that's kind of what we're looking at. And then again, if you're looking at paying HOA dues, think about that, factor in that lawn maintenance, because if you're living in a villa or most condos and things, that's all being taken care of for you. So if you knock off $100 or so off of that monthly HOA dues, just like you would with the water, if they cover water, then that helps you to rationalize and make sense of what you're really paying when you pay those monthly dues to an association. So that's a big thing to keep in mind. Number 7, the swimming pool. Okay, so you have a swimming pool. Maybe you want to maintain it yourself. Maybe you want somebody else to maintain it. If you hire it out, you're really looking at maybe paying around $125 a month for that. And then if you do it yourself, of course, you have to buy your own chemicals and monitor certain things. So that might cost around $30, $40 a month for you to take care of all of that. So it's definitely not free to have a swimming pool. It does cost money, but it is kind of nice to have there right in your backyard. Number 8, homeowners insurance. Now, I did not ask people what they pay in homeowners insurance. I am just around this enough that I can kind of give you a decent working knowledge of how this works. First of all, if you are getting a new house, your insurance is going to be less than $1,000 a year. Less than $1,000 a year might be $700, $800 a year for that insurance, even if you get a pool put in. And the reason why is everything's up to code. Either you have impact windows or hurricane shutters in place. So it's as good as it can get. So the insurance company is like that, assuming that you're not in a flood zone. So if it's new, it's way less. Now, from there, it's really hard just to kind of give you super solid range, but I'm going to give you some anecdotal information. First of all, if you're in a flood zone, that can impact how much you're going to be paying. And then the age of the home, age of the roof, age of the windows, all those things get factored in when they're trying to figure out how much your insurance is going to be. But let me give you my personal example. So as I already mentioned, I live in an older home built in the 70s. And before, I was paying about $2,500 a year in my homeowner's insurance. The last fall, I put on a new roof. And after that, you get a wind mitigation report done. You submit that to the insurance company so they know for sure how the roof was attached and, on and on. My insurance dropped to $1,500 a year. So I'm saving $1,000 a year because of that new roof. Now that roof cost me about $15,000. So in the end, the roof will have paid for itself after 15 years. So that kind of just gives you an idea of what you can expect. Now, of course, if you live right on the water, there's other things, too, that can get factored in. I had somebody last year or earlier this year, they bought, it looks like a freestanding home, looks like a single family home, but it was really a villa and it's in a flood zone and they're paying $4,000 a year, but their roof line was really kind of steep. It was a different type of roof. So I know that got factored in with the insurance. So there's all these different things that can really impact what your insurance is going to be. Now, I've got insurance agents here in this area that I have a great relationship with. So if there's a property that you're kind of serious about and we're not sure, about the insurance, if there's some things that could cause concern, what I do is I just email one of these guys. I email Chad, copy you on it and say, hey, Chad, here's, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. We're looking at this home. Here's the address. Here's what we know about it. Can you give us an idea of what we're looking at for insurance? And he's really good about coming back pretty quick to give us just kind of a quick and dirty number in terms of what you might be able to anticipate paying in insurance. Now, it's not for sure set in stone kind of number, but at least it gives you an idea. And he'll also say, okay, now if it comes back that the roof is like this and it could go up or it could go down. So, but it just kind of gives us a nice little range. So I've got good connections here to help you figure that out before we, really seal the deal there with this property that you're interested in. Oh, and one other thing about homeowners insurance. It also depends too on what kind of coverage you want. Now, our neighbors to the north in Canada, I have learned over time that they really like their insurance. Okay, so they really tend to, and in the Americans' eyes, overinsure. But what they want to have as coverage is way different than what we usually do. So it was funny, even, a couple weeks ago, I was talking to some folks in Canada, and we were talking about these things. I go, well, you guys like spending a lot more money on insurance than Americans do. They go, yeah, you're right. How do you know that? I go, well, done this long enough, worked with enough Canadians, I've picked these things up. But so again, this is just for your basic coverage. So if you want extra coverage at all, then of course your rates are going to go up. So there we are, the basics on the cost of living in Sarasota. Now this, I think, is going to be episode number 99. I've been wanting to do this since about episode 40. So I finally got around to it, almost 60 episodes later, 60 videos later. But here we are. Now, I am sure there's something that you would like to know that I didn't cover. Like I did ask people about childcare. A lot of my folks don't really have kids in childcare. If you're interested in prices for schools or private schools, a lot of that can be found online. I didn't want to jump into all of that. That's like a video all by itself talking about things like that. But if there was something that I didn't cover that you have interest in, then please either drop it in the comments below or just give me a call or shoot me an email, and I'll be happy to give you what I understand about it. And if I don't know the answer, I'm just going to tell you I don't know, because I do not want to provide information that might not be super accurate, and then you make decisions based on that, and then you're frustrated. So again, even with any of these answers I just gave you, these are like super average. Everybody's situation is different. So it could be, your scenario could be way different than what I've presented today. All right, but for those of you who do live here, because I do have a lot of locals that watch my videos, what do you think of my numbers? Am I right? Am I off? You agree, disagree? That's okay. Put it in the comments below, or maybe you do have a special situation, because that could help somebody else. So I don't ever feel bad if you want to share other thoughts, in the comments, just be nice about it, because it is what it is. That can be great to be helpful to other folks. Now, guys, I want to thank you so much for watching all the way through to the end. This video, I'm sure, has gotten a little bit longer. I really appreciate it. If you like the video, then hit the like button, and then watch the next one. Guys, thanks so much. I appreciate all of your support. You guys have a lovely day. Take care.